Okay, over the past few weeks I have wanted to do different videos than usual. I wanted to further show my experiences with wrestling and show how long I've been into it and why I've been such a fan. And basically recently with WWE they've released a top 50 superstars DVD, and basically that gave me the idea for this video where I would talk about my top 50. After a week or so of about reviewing those who I have liked during periods of time and those I've liked for their whole career, I didn't even get to 50 because I didn't feel I actually hit 50 who I liked it to the extreme, to a point where they were my favourite superstars. So I'm going to list the top 40 I managed to get it down to, and this will be my top 40 favourite wrestlers. I will not be including tag teams or divas in the list because I think they're deserving of their own list, and I may get down to that at some point. I'm mainly going for single stars and those who I've supported over the years and my reasons why. So I'll get right ahead to it, and I'll explain why I like them and during what period of time I did. To start with number 40, I've gone for Ron Simmons, purely because when he came back in, it's from 2006 onwards, when he came back and just every time he said damn, it just completely cracked me up. I mean, it was never really designed to get anybody's attention really, but when he came back and just for some segments that were just really awkward, I think it was really appropriate for him to be there. And I always seem to like the APA, so to see him come back, even if it was, when Cena brought him out at that time, I thought it was just like a one hit deal, but that was brilliant. So Ron Simmons is in at number 40. 39, I've gone for someone else who's probably more associated with a tag team than singles, but what the hell, Funaki. I always liked Kai En Tai. I thought they were just funny. Again, I always liked the entertainment aspect of wrestling. I always thought when he used to come out and say things like Indeed and things like that, I was so entertained by that. And even though he never really made any sense, and him and Taka Michinoku never used to understand English, but they were really entertaining, and Funaki was the one who got it all out for me, so I'm going to stick him at number 39. Number 38, I've gone for Randy Orton, and this is a time period favourite character. The Orton that broke away from Evolution in 2004 and went after Triple H for the belt going into early 2005. That was the Orton that I supported, because I thought it was probably because Triple H was such a good heel that he could, you could hate him so much that you'd want anyone to beat him. I felt the same way with Batista, but I thought Orton had that cockiness, and the time where he spat in his face and jumped out of the big cake on Raw, it was just really cool. So yeah, I've gone for Orton there, but only during that time period. Right now I think he's pretty dull. Again, that's just my opinion. I'm aware that he has a lot of fans out there, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Number 37, I'm going to be a bit patriotic here and pick the British Bulldog. I didn't manage to follow him through his prime, shall we say, in the early 90s, but when he returned in the late 90s, I thought his theme music was brilliant, and I think it was just so refreshing to see a British star there amongst all the American stars and the Japanese stars and everything. It was just nice to see someone represent my country, and he was just brilliant when he used to. I always liked the running power slam as one of my favourite wrestling moves, and when he wrestled in the jeans and everything, it was a lot more updated than his traditional look, and he just looked cool for that time frame. So yeah, British Bulldog's in at 37. Number 36, I've gone for DDP, Never followed him in WCW because I wasn't a huge WCW fan. But when he came into the WWE, I thought it was funny. The whole Undertaker stalking his wife and that, I didn't think that was appropriate for him. But when he got into a babyface and won the European title and everything, I really was happy with that. And I think he's a really cool guy. So DDP's in at 36, but mainly for his WWF short time there. 35. This is going to be the first of a new generation, shall we say. Another British guy, Wade Barrett. I think I've been really impressed with him since he won NXT and formed Nexus and now the Core, and I thought that was just brilliant. I'm glad he's won the Intercontinental title recently, and I kind of wish he had beat Cena at some point last year. But yeah, I think Wade Barrett is the future for Great Britain in terms of wrestling. So I think he's got a really cool finishing move, and I just think he's gonna bring it for years to come. God, I'm into that catchphrase since The Rock came back. 34. I've gone for Nature Boy Ric Flair from 2001 to 2008 when his WWE time came to an end. I never, because I was so young, I never got to see Flair in his prime. I know I've watched DVDs since, but I never got to witness it at his prime with all the Horsemen and everything. And although I'm aware of things that happen, the Flair from when he became co-owner of the WWF to the time where Shawn Michaels beat him at WrestleMania 24, I was entertained. Not so much when he was in Evolution, but when he was on his own and just cutting promos and the feuds he used to have, I thought they were really cool. So I'm going to put Flair in at 34. 33, I'm going to give to Al Snow from the year 2000. When he used to come out as the European champion, he used to come out representing different countries each week. I remember the time where he came out with representing Greece. He used to have the photo of the musical and everything. And the times where he used to team up with Steve Blackman, Head Cheese and everything, that was really good. And talking to the Head, you know, that's success right there. Talk to a mannequin head and you're made for life then. So he's in at 33. Number 32, I've gone for Shelton Benjamin. As soon as he was drafted to Raw and became a single star, I was hugely impressed. I mean, I knew he was a great wrestler when he was with Team Angle and that, but when he was on his own, he beat Triple H a couple of weeks in a row on Raw. That was when he really got going. I thought they were really gonna push him to like world title material, but I mean, I've heard he might be coming back, so I hope he does get that world title run, because I think he's definitely capable of being a good champion. So I've gone for Benjamin at 32. 31, I've gone for Bill Goldberg. I never watched Goldberg in his prime regularly in WCW, but I was excited when he came to the WWE, and I thought, even though he doesn't really enjoy talking about it, I do think his year in the WWE was actually good, not brilliant. It kind of ended on a sour note. His match with Brock Lesnar is one of the worst WrestleMania matches of all time, but I was happy when he got the belt and everything, and I thought he was just, compared to what WWE was doing at the time, he just came to the ring and beat everybody's ass, and I was always up ass. God, sorry, I'm British here, arse. So yeah, I think Goldberg just shook up WWE a bit, so I'm going to go for him at 31. At 30, we're going to be a bit more modern here. I'm going to go for Santino Marella. After he got past that phase where he won the title in Italy, Intercontinental title from Umaga, rest in peace, and he started doing all the funny promos, like banging on about Stone Cold's film and all the segments he used to do and still does to this day. He was a better heel than face, in my opinion, but either way, he's still entertaining, and I think he's one of the saving graces of current WWE. When you seem to think some shows are really shit, I think sometimes you can just lighten the mood. So yeah, Santino's in at 30. Number 29, I've gone for the bizarre one, Goldust, based on 2002 to kind of nowadays. I didn't really like him in the 90s. I thought he was weird, mysterious, and in some ways boring, but that's how I was growing up as a kid. I had very weird tastes. But when he's got, I know it's a pretty weird note to go on, but as soon as he did that, like he got electrocuted and everything, and he did all the segments with Booker T and the funny voices and everything, I thought he was brilliant. And when he came back at the Royal Rumble, I think he got a great ovation. So yeah, I'll go for Goldust there. I think I still like to see him today, to be honest. Number 28, I've gone for, I don't know what I'm going to call him here, Mr. Kennedy in WWE, Mr. Anderson in TNA. He was, I think he was definitely championship material in WWE. They never really risked doing it. I mean, the way he exited was pretty hostile, but he's in TNA now, and I'm not, I don't really like TNA, but I think he's one of the reasons I would tune in regularly, because I think he is capable of producing a good promo. I just don't think there's many good promo cutters anymore, and I think he's one of the few that can do it. Aside from the fact that he tends to, I mean, lately, if I ever do tune into TNA, he just tends to repeat the word asshole way too many times. If he just tones that down and gets back to basics, I think he could definitely be, I know he's won the TNA title, but I think he could definitely be a big hitter, and I could see him back in WWE one day. 27, I've gone for Shane McMahon. When he won, when he's gone against his dad, when he was with the dad and the corporation and everything, I thought it was really boring. Well, not boring, but I like seeing him get his ass whipped. But when he went against Vince, or whenever he stuck up for Linda, or whenever he was fighting his dad, I thought he was really entertaining and really funny, and the stupid dance he used to do to the ring, and which way did he go? All that, and times where he did a nursery rhyme about the Big Show, I think. That was really funny as well, Jack and the Beanstalk or something. So yeah, I'll go for Shane at 27. Number 26, John Cena. Regardless of how I feel about the character now, at one time I thought he would be the future, and at one time I don't think I liked anybody in WWE more than him. This is from 2003 to about 2006. As soon as that came around, I kind of got bored and fed up with Cena. I don't agree with the people who say he doesn't have a moveset, because neither did Stone Cold and The Rock, and they're two of the most popular of all time. Hogan never had a big moveset. I think it all comes down to the fact he was shoved down our throats without notice, and he seems to just go on this Superman gimmick where he just wins all the time and he's never put in jeopardy, and he never used to be like that. So I was kind of hoping that for something else, but yeah, I think John Cena, when he was rapping and everything, I think he was one of the most entertaining, and he's still capable of that. I mean, when he cut the two on The Rock, he's still clearly capable of doing the raps and everything. So yeah, I'll definitely, I hope John Cena goes through a change of character, maybe a heel turn at some point, but as of right now, he's 26 on my list. 25, I've gone for CM Punk. His first 2 years in the WWE, when he was a babyface, I thought rather than the stupid gimmicks, I thought he just brought it straight to the table in ECW, and then on Raw when he won the title, he was just straight to the point, straight edge, a lifestyle that I'd like to live by. Yeah, I thought Punk was great during that time period. I think he's got a bit boring now with the new Nexus and everything. I think he needs some kind of change down the line. Don't know what's going to happen after his match at WrestleMania, but there we go. That's Punk in at 25. Number 24, even though this is mostly a WWE list, I'm going to go for AJ Styles here. I just think he has the complete package, and I think had he been in the WWE at some point on the mainstream, I think he would have been higher in this list, but because he's only in TNA, I don't think he's had the exposure that I'd like to see him get. So AJ, yeah, he's a great wrestler. I think he really talks from the heart, and I got a lot of respect for him. So I hope he gets another title run at some point. Whatever title they have in TNA now. Right, so to number 23, William Regal, another patriotic choice. Yeah, I thought ever since Regal debuted, he was brilliant. He was a great heel, and every time he used to come to the UK, he got great cheers, and I just love that. I think he's been a commentator now, and I think that's really good for him. So I just think, yeah, he's a great wrestler. He can cut great promos. All round, I think he's a great guy, and I hope he can carry on some kind of legacy for us over there. So yeah, Regal at 23. 22, I've gone for JBL. I was a bit against JBL at first. I thought, okay, Bradshaw from the APA, how's he going to be a main event guy? I never thought he could be, but he wins the title, and they build up his title run for about a year or so, and then he loses to Cena with one finishing move. You know, he survives the likes of Booker T, Eddie Guerrero, The Undertaker, and then Cena beats him with one move. That isn't going to help Cena, that, in terms of his popularity. The fact that loads of respected wrestlers tried to beat JBL, they failed, and then Cena wins in an ordinary match at WrestleMania. That kind of set Cena's downfall. So JBL was, I think he's still to this day, he's a great heel. He's a great commentator, and I think he's one of those you could actually listen to without fast forwarding through the show. So JBL at 22. 21, Edge. A huge fan of Edge and Christian. Their segments in the Attitude Era was brilliant. Nowadays, oh god, I wasn't so into when he first turned heel, because he was like, he kind of insane. Like he was frustrated that he could never win the world title, and he's like pulling his hair out and things like that. It was just stupid. But now, even though he still does that from time to time, like breaking the Raw general manager's laptop and everything, I do find them funny, and calling Michael Cole a massive tool and everything. That gets you on my list. So yeah, Edge and Christian are brilliant, and that will lead me straight into number 20, because I put Christian just above Edge, because I think I've always preferred Christian since they both became single stars. I think Christian is very underrated, and I think at some point he has to hold one of the world titles like Edge has, because he's just as good as a wrestler, and he's just as good at cutting promos, and I don't know, I just think Christian has it. I don't think many people in WWE see it, so that's that. Number 19, Brock Lesnar, gone for. I know he was only in the WWE for about 2 years, but he did make an impact for me, and I did enjoy watching his matches with the likes of Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. So yeah, he was never good with promos and everything, but he was a big guy who could have great matches, like technical matches, and always amazed me that some people can do that. So even though I don't agree with like his personality, I've never been a fan of him in real life, and I think in the UFC he's a complete prick, but that's just how I see it. I mean, I'm not a MMA fan, so I can't judge him in that sense at all. So, but yeah, in terms of his 2 years on SmackDown and that as champion and that, I was accepting with him, so he's in at number 19. Number 18, Bret the Hitman Hart. Never got to watch him during his prime, which is probably why he's this low. But yeah, since his return and his run in the late 90s and everything, he's a great wrestler. He's never been good at interviews and everything, but if you ever want to watch a match, you know, watch a Bret Hart match. They really are brilliant. He's just a great wrestler to watch, and certain storylines, that stuff with Shawn Michaels and that, will never be forgotten. So yeah, Bret at number 18. Number 17, I've gone for Kurt Angle, and this is primarily his WWE run. I cannot stand him in TNA. I feel he ruined TNA for me, but I'll get into that another time. Kurt Angle, goofy, or like he started completely goofy and that was funny, and then he turned into serious and accepting of the "you suck" chants, and then he got really angry in the end, and then he was like an extreme machine, and all the changes that Kurt Angle made to his character, they all made sense to me. So that's how I enjoyed it, and I still Kurt Angle. Is one of those guys you can watch any of his matches because he gives it all every single time. 16, I've gone for Triple H. Basically, since he first won the championship in WWE, late 90s, from Mankind, I think. not overly a favourite of mine, but he was a great heel. Still is a great heel today. Even if he portrayed a heel again, he'd be brilliant. And the segments with DX, both now and then, were absolutely brilliant. So Triple H, you top notch on my list. Number 16. Number 15, I've gone for Hulk Hogan. Whew, boy. Hulk Hogan, the character that returns every now and then in WWE, and the one I can watch back on old WWF shows. Hogan in real life, don't get me started, I'm not a huge fan. And Hogan in TNA now just bores the shit out of me. But there's no doubt you definitely get goosebumps watching him in his prime, so that's why he's at number 15. Minus his WCW days, I was never a fan of NWO Hogan. It's just red and yellow Hogan. He was brilliant. 14, the Booker Man, Booker T. Great to see him back at the Rumble this year. Basically, since he debuted in the WWE, minus the King Booker stuff, that was a joke. That was boring. That was pathetic. Stupid accent. And then he goes to TNA and does the same damn thing. But yeah, Booker T, like the one that came back now, that sort of character, definitely cool with me. Him and Goldust as a tag team, pure genius. Spinneroonie, most electrifying move. 13, HBK, Shawn Michaels. Wasn't able to enjoy him as much as his prime because I wasn't into wrestling in the mid-90s as majorly as I would be, but there's no doubt he's one of the best performers you'll ever see. He's been involved with so many of my most favourite matches, so yeah, he's another one like Bret and Kurt who always gives it 100% each time he steps into the ring. So yeah, and with the X as well, brilliant segments. Right, number 12, I've gone for D'Lo Brown. Probably a surprise choice, but I always liked D'Lo Brown. I thought he had talent, and I used to, at one time, I remember he used to fight Jeff Jarrett, I think in '99, and that was the time where I was really like a huge fan. I always liked the way he did the frog splash. I always liked the whole thing he did on the turnbuckles with his head. It was so stupid, it was cool. So yeah, I always used to mimic the walk as a kid that he did to the ring. That was brilliant, and it's nice to see him back. Even for a couple of years ago he came back to WWE, even if it was only for a short while. But yeah, it was nice for those fans who still remembered him. But my word, I don't think many people did. But yeah, he's at number 12. Number 11, last one before we round up the top 10. But you didn't know that. Mick Foley, primarily Mankind, but I could be including Cactus Jack and Dude Love. Not a huge fan of Dude Love, but it's the same guy at the end of the day. Yeah, Mick Foley's just brilliant. Mr. Socko, Rock and Sock, legendary. He had to make this list. My word, he sacrificed himself for needless reasons in the past, but it made for great entertainment seeing a guy fall off a cell for an announcer's table. But yeah, Mick, well done. Number 10, I've gone for RVD. At one point in time, I don't think I liked anyone more than RVD. I don't remember what precise period it was, but I just thought he was so cool. Nowadays, I don't feel that way as much because I don't think his character's changed in any dramatic way. He's always been that cool, cocky RVD. I know that's him, but most characters do go through some kind of period of change. I've never seen him like turn heel, or at least I've never seen this. You know, if you ever got a link to a video where you've seen this, please let me know. But I've never really seen his character grow in any meaningful way. So yeah, but there's no doubt that he's a great performer, great high flyer as well. RVD in at number 10. Right, number 9, The Ultimate Warrior. First pay-per-view I ever watched, he was on it. King of the Ring 96 against the King. He was an absolute nut job, still is, was then. But nut jobs are brilliant. I still, every now and then, I just shake everything that's, I could just shake the back of this computer chair. I could just go nuts and pretend it's the ropes and pretend I'm the Warrior with face paint on. It's brilliant. I think Warrior's people call him a flash in the pan, like I said on the DVD, but I think he's left a huge impact on wrestling, and he's still great to watch back now. Him, especially his feud with Hulk Hogan and everything. Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that's definitely great. Number 8, Rowdy Roddy Piper. Hot Rod. I could watch Piper's Pit all day. He was just brilliant. I've never known someone who can talk that well on the microphone. Who's one of the best promos ever. It's just amazing. I always liked the way he used to. I mean, the way he used to have a go at people in the Piper's Pit. WrestleMania 21 with Stone Cold, when they did it with Carlito, I thought that was a great segment, and anything with Piper just seems to work, So he's at number 8. Number 7 has to be said, I'm afraid, Chris Benoit. I'm not someone who hates Chris Benoit for what he did or what he's supposedly done. I still to this day I haven't seen or heard proof, so I'm not even going to go into that bit. I'm talking about the wrestler that wrestled in WWE for about 7 years. That was one of the guys I used to watch. One of the guys you tune into the show for. Even if the show was shit, storyline wise, you knew if you had a Benoit match, that it was always well and good with the world. So, and seeing him and Eddie in the ring, WrestleMania 20, one of the greatest moments ever. Shame it will never be shown again on WWE TV, but that's just how it is. But Benoit's one of the best, whether you haters like it or not. And I know he's a murderer, as they say, but doesn't change the fact that he was a champion. But I'm not condoning what he did, okay? No way. Because if it ever was fully proved, I don't feel it has been, if it ever was fully proved that he done that, I can't condone it. Because it's disgusting to do that. So I'm not going to try and defend it. But I'm just saying, for the guy that I watched on TV, he was brilliant. Let me go straight for... I can't believe how many dead wrestlers there are in this countdown. Eddie Guerrero at 6. I still feel Eddie's lost to this day. He was just so great. Los Guerreros, ever since that period of time where he won the title and everything, he was just so entertaining. I don't think I realised how entertaining he was until he was gone. So yeah. God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Sometimes I watch and I think, has it honestly been, what, 6 years since he's gone? Almost 6 years? 6 years? Think how many things change, and that's 6 years since he's actually been gone from us. That's crazy. Latino Heat will live forever. He's in at 6. Number 5, the Big Red Machine, Kane. Kane was awesome. Still is. Still is. But he's a bit more of a joke character now. But when he first debuted and everything, with The Undertaker and everything, it was insane. He was just big badass son of a bitch, and he just stuff like his first blood match with Stone Cold, and then he held the belt for one night. That's what I kind of mean by the joke part. But yeah, I hope he's not remembered as like being in The Undertaker's shadow, because he was definitely a great superstar in his own right. So Kane's in at 5. Number 4, I've gone for Y2J, Chris Jericho. One of the most entertaining all-round athletes you'll ever find. Can cut a great promo, whether a babyface or a heel. He finally won the world title, which at one point I didn't think was going to happen, but I was glad he finally won the big one, as it was said. So yeah, Y2J, I know he's not known as that now, but there's not anything bad I can say about him. He's just fantastic. Great wrestler, great promo skills, all-round entertainment. One of the guys I would ever have if I don't know, if I ever owned a dream wrestling company, he'd be one of the first guys I want to sign, if not the first. So Jericho's in at number 4. Number 3, the dead man himself, The Undertaker. Whether it's American Badass or The Phenom, just top notch, absolute top notch. great wrestler, great all round, very exciting. He's the Undertaker, for fuck's sake. He's just he's just awesome. His entrance is kind of, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. But and sometimes it can get a little tedious seeing him do that slow walk each time. But if he came out with Paul Bearer or came out on a motorcycle, it was still brilliant. I love Undertaker to this day. He's just one of the best ever, and he will beat Triple H at WrestleMania 27. I guarantee it. Well, I hope he does. I look a complete idiot otherwise. Okay, number 2. The guy who returned last month. The People's Champion, The Rock. What can there be said about The Rock? The most entertaining guy you will ever see. The guy who even got people into wrestling who had no plans of ever getting into wrestling. If they did tune in, they tune in to see a Rock interview or a Rock match, because he was just so brilliant, so charismatic, still is today, and that's why people have missed him for this period of time. 7 years since he made a live appearance, and then he finally broke that duck, shall we say. So yeah, The Rock will whip Cena's ass at WrestleMania. That's gotta happen. WWE, make it happen. Okay, I'm telling you now, Vince, The Rock whips Cena's ass. That's it. End of. That leaves us with number 1. There is only number 1. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. The best, in my opinion. Beer drinking, raising hell, the guy who got me into wrestling. Still get chills whenever I hear the glass break. Just the absolute best you will ever. Well, I don't know. I mean, the best ever is always going to be debatable. There's no ever fact about who's the best ever. There's so many different categories and so many different opinions. But in my opinion, no one is better than Stone Cold in terms of the overall package for a superstar. I mean, he was just awesome. I mean, people still chant what nowadays? 10 years after it was originally created. I mean, what other wrestler can have that impact? And kids are probably chanting it today and they don't even realise what it means. They don't even know which wrestler it's meant for. But they just chant what because someone else did. He's left that impact on this business, and I'm glad he went into the Hall of Fame. It's really emotional. So, yeah, Stone Cold, more than the rest, in my opinion. So, yeah, that will wrap up the top 40. I will follow up this video at some point with some honourable mentions, because I know I've left some out, and I know some probably will think, okay, well, why didn't he pick him? Well, I'll be more than open to telling you why, and if I have missed someone who I do feel should have been in the top 40, then I'll be really pissed off. But yeah, I'll definitely make a follow up to this with people who almost made it, but for some reason or another I don't quite consider a favourite. So that's going to wrap it up. This is the Chazmaniac wrapping up another video, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.